Good morning. All right, Amazon. Flash briefing.
Jamie, here's the latest from your flash briefing. In NPR News.
Live from NPR News in Washington, I'm Corva Coleman. Federal prosecutors say they have unsealed a 13-count indictment against New York Republican Congressman George Santos. He's accused of money laundering, theft of public funds, and lying to the House of Representatives. Santos has been arrested in New York. Prosecutors allege he used political contributions to benefit himself and engaged in multiple fraudulent schemes. Stocks opened higher this morning on Wall Street as investors digested the latest inflation numbers. NPR's Scott Horsley reports the Dow Jones Industrials were up more than 20 points.
Consumer prices in April were 4.9% higher than a year ago. That's the smallest annual increase in 2 years. Prices rose 0.4% between March and April, with higher costs for housing, gasoline, and used cars leading the way. While overall inflation remains stubbornly high, some things are getting cheaper. Grocery prices were down in April for the second month in a row, and airline fares dropped more than 2.5% last month. The Federal Reserve has raised interest rates 10 times in the last 14 months in an effort to control inflation. The Fed hinted its most recent rate hike last week could be the last for a while, but with an uncertain economic outlook, the central bank is keeping its options open. Scott Horsley, NPR News, Washington.
Elections officials in New Jersey are facing a federal voting rights lawsuit. As NPR's Kristen Wright reports, prosecutors accuse them of blocking Spanish-speaking voters from participating in the democratic process.
The Justice Department says the Board of Elections in northern New Jersey's Union County violated the Voting Rights Act by not providing voting materials, including ballots, in Spanish. The lawsuit also claims elections officials failed to staff enough Spanish-speaking election workers. According to the 2020 census, a third of Union County's population is Hispanic, with the county seat, Elizabeth, closer to 2/3 Hispanic or Latino. DOJ is proposing a plan that would require the county to provide all election materials in English and Spanish. The agreement would also ensure voters can bring someone to the polls to assist. The courts are expected to weigh in. Kristen Wright, NPR News, Washington.
A court in Pakistan has ordered former Prime Minister Imran Khan to be detained for at least 8 days. He's accused of corruption. Khan was suddenly arrested yesterday by security forces while appearing in court on a different case. He's now being held in a police compound. His supporters have been enraged, and thousands of them have protested. That includes one of Khan's party leaders, Shah Mahmood Qureshi.
People are out in the streets, they are protesting, and they will continue to protest. But I've asked them, keep it peaceful, do not get into people's houses, do not destroy public or private property, but peaceful protest is our right.
But one Pakistani province says it has arrested nearly 1,000 of the former prime minister's supporters. On Wall Street, the Dow's up nearly 50 points. This is NPR. Violence is building in the Middle East. Palestinian militants in Gaza have fired rockets into Israel today. The Israeli military has fired missiles at Palestinian targets in Gaza. Today, the Archbishop of Canterbury made a rare intervention into British politics to criticize his government's new immigration policy. The Archbishop is a member of the British House of Lords. It's debating an immigration bill today. NPR's Lauren Freyer reports from London.
A bill passed by the lower house of Britain's parliament would criminalize people seeking refuge in this country if they arrive in small boats. And it lays out plans to deport some of them to Rwanda, even if they're not African and have never set foot in Rwanda or anywhere else in Africa. Archbishop of Canterbury Justin Welby says,
"Of course we cannot take everyone, and nor should we. But this bill has no sense at all of the long-term and of the global nature of the challenge."
Welby was speaking at a debate over the bill in the upper house of parliament, of which he is a member. Ruling Conservatives could be forced to revise some parts of their bill. It also faces legal challenges in UK courts. Lauren Freyer, NPR News, London.
President Biden goes to New York today to again lay out his case on lifting the debt ceiling to avoid a catastrophic government default. Biden met yesterday with 4 top congressional leaders about the issue. Republican congresspeople are demanding severe government spending cuts before they will vote to lift the debt ceiling. I'm Corva Coleman, NPR News in Washington.
You are the public in public media. Your support, whether you donate to your local station or sign up for a program
Skip.
In NASA news, James L. Reuter, Associate Administrator for NASA's Space Technology Mission Directorate, STMD, announced Tuesday he will retire from NASA after 40 years of service. Reuter's retirement will be effective Friday, June 30th. 2 NASA CubeSats designed to study tropical cyclones, including hurricanes and typhoons, successfully launched at 1 p.m. Monday NZST, 9 p.m. EDT Sunday. After the previous launch target date changed due to weather conditions in New Zealand, NASA and Rocket Lab are now targeting 9 p.m. EDT Sunday, May 7, 1 p.m. Monday, May 8, New Zealand Standard Time, to launch 2 storm tracking CubeSats into orbit. Media accreditation is open for SpaceX's 28th commercial resupply mission for NASA to the International Space Station. Liftoff of the SpaceX Dragon cargo spacecraft on the company's Falcon 9 rocket is targeted no earlier than 12:34 p.m. EDT Saturday, June 3rd, from Launch Complex 39A at NASA's Kennedy Space Center in Florida. During a ceremony at NASA headquarters in Washington Wednesday, the Czech Republic became the 24th country to sign the Artemis Accords. NASA Administrator Bill Nelson participated in the signing ceremony for the agency, and Foreign Minister Jan Lipovsky signed the Artemis Accords on behalf of the Czech Republic. In weather. In Seattle, it's 53 degrees Fahrenheit with clear skies and sun. Today, you can look for partly sunny weather, with a high of 69 degrees and a low of 50
Partly sunny.
degrees.
Well, as long as it don't
From
rain.
NASA.
Alright, Amazon.
James,
Off. Amazon. Tell us a joke.
knock knock. Who's there? Ouija. Ouija who? Ouija believe I'm not a ghost? Boo!
Ouija wood. Alright. Have a great day, everyone. Take care of yourselves out there. It's a crazy world.